The Albanian parliament has finally approved the deal with Italy to um, take care of up to 3,000 migrants and refugees at any one time in two Italian-run processing centres located near the port. And it's expected that up to 36,000 people a year could be sent to Albania to be processed. The idea would be that they would be processed, and those who qualify for asylum would then return to Italy. So it's certainly not the same sort of deal as the British Rwanda deal. Uh, Amnesty International has condemned it as illegal and unworkable. The International uh, Rescue Committee has described it as dehumanizing, and the IRC has warned that it strikes a further blow to the principle of European solidarity, which is fundamental to the creation of a functioning European asylum system. The Italian government's plan, it says, to build reception centres for asylum seekers in Albania is a testament to its disproportionate focus on preventing people from arriving in the EU rather than creating a safe and legal avenue for those seeking refuge. Big questions loom over the application of Italian jurisdiction in Albania, as it remains unclear how people on the move could access asylum and exercise their basic rights in a non-EU territory. The notion of processing migrants used in the debate is also deeply dehumanizing. While joint pan-European efforts for a more humane migration policy are urgently needed, Italy can choose to lead by example, expanding humanitarian admissions for refugees and establishing legal channels for people on the move. It's time to shift the focus from walls to welcome. Closing borders will not deter people from seeking safety. Instead, it will force them to undertake even more perilous routes. Everyone has the fundamental right, they say, to apply for asylum regardless of where they are from or how they arrive. This latest decision by Italy is part of a concerning trend that undermines this right, focusing on preventing people from reaching Europe rather than welcoming them with dignity and respect. This is not the first time a member state has looked into this possibility, but there are fundamental reasons why these past proposals have not gone ahead. The process of offshoring is beset with numerous flaws on moral, legal and practical grounds. The decision also strikes a further blow to the principle of solidarity, which lies at the heart of a functioning European asylum system. It is not beyond the means of a wealthy and stable region like the EU to welcome people seeking safety in a humane and organised way, providing all member states are willing to do their bit. However, if individual countries go their own way, there is little chance of EU states forging a coherent approach that works for all people seeking safety and host communities alike. It is vital that EU states uphold and strengthen the right to claim asylum on their territory. Any migration partnerships struck with non-EU countries must be conditional on upholding the fundamental rights of people on the move. And the EU must expand existing and create more safe routes to protection in Europe, so people are not forced to risk their lives on dangerous routes in the first place. Well, I hope that means that the EU is going to seriously consider stationing consular centres in Africa, in Turkey, so that people don't have to venture into the Mediterranean, and similarly, so people don't have to venture into the North Sea. That would be a starting point. There is opposition to this scheme in Albania, particularly from the opposition party. But Edi Rama's party is very secure at the moment, even though he's been in power for a very long time. The agreement between Italy and Albania was signed in November between Edi Rama and Giorgia Meloni. It was endorsed by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. So the idea that there are European voices raised against this agreement is not entirely clear. given the fact that it has the stamp of approval from the European Commission President herself. Italy would remain legally responsible for the asylum seekers through the process, would organise their deportations from Albania if they are refused international protection, and presumably would organise the deportation and the repatriation into Italy of those people who are given asylum. I think this is I think this is a possible way forward, and it's a pattern whereas the Rwanda scheme is a perversion of responsibility. This is perhaps, I think offshoring is not ideal, but if it's going to be done, this is the way forward.